As co-host for Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends, Steve Doocy is known for his wit and humor.
Throw it toward the President of the United States, had he been right there.
At home, he's not much different. With 2 kids in college and 1 at home, he loves to have fun with his kids, but he can get carried away at times. I sat down with Steve to talk about his new book, Tales from the Dad's Side, and his 21 years as a father.
Why did you write this book? What did you want to accomplish?
I think I wanted to write the book just to show that, dads are out there. We don't know exactly what we're doing. We're doing our best. And we love our kids. And, it's not like we get a lot of advice from our dads, Just hold them still. They'll stop crying. One of the things I learned early is that while guys like to have plans, you should plan to ad-lib.
With a boy and 2 girls, Steve has done plenty of ad-libbing. But he always had good intentions, even if it didn't turn out quite the way he planned. Take, for example, the treehouse he built for his son, Peter.
Right after I completed it, I called my wife, Kathy, out, and I said, come take a look at this. And she looked at it, and she goes, that is too tall. And I looked at it, and she was right. It's too high. It is dangerously high. So, in total, I would say my son Peter, who I built that for, has spent 8 minutes in it, his entire life.
Then there's the time his daughters Mary and Sally asked him to take them for a manicure, and Steve got more than he bargained for.
Initially, I thought I was just once again the roadie. I was going to take him to the nail salon, and I took him there, and I said, okay, I'll wait right up here, and I'm going to read a 2-year-old Martha Stewart Living magazine. And they go, oh, Dad, you're not going to get something? They talked me into something called a mani-pedi, which is the manicure, which is your fingernails, and then the pedicure, which is your feet. First of all, it was torture. I hated it. But at the end, my daughter Mary said, Dad, this was really great. I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to do this with me.
Steve explained that afterward they went to his gym, where he ran into a friend in the locker room.
He goes, that was really great. I saw you and your daughter out there. My kids have all gone away. It's great that you still have kids at home. And I turned over, and he was staring at my feet. And he said, hey, Steve, how come your toes are so shiny? Oh, the things we do for our kids.
At least it was clear.
It was.
Hopefully it was clear.
Who said it was clear? It was clear.
What was the one thing you wanted to give your kids that perhaps you didn't have growing up?
When my dad was a traveling salesman, we moved around, I think, 7 times before I was 14. And there was no real home. It was, of course, it was wherever my mom and dad were and the house we were living in. But I thought it was important when I became a father, and Kathy agreed, that we would live in one place. And when we moved into this house, we said, this is the place where we're going to raise our kids. This is where my kids ran down the stairs. This is home. And I wanted them to always know where home was.
Steve also talks about his own dad in the book. He never made much money or rubbed elbows with celebrities, but his example helped Steve shape his role as a father.
Who showed me how to do everything. Showed me how to do plumbing and electricity and how to shingle a roof and fix a carburetor. And he could do it all. Funniest guy I ever met in my whole life. He never, he never put on airs. He just wanted the best for his kids. And of his many traits, I picked up many of them, but that's the one that stuck the most is, you just want the best for your kids.
Steve often relies on humor to navigate the twists and turns of fatherhood. But when his 3rd child, Sally, was just a baby, she needed eye surgery. That's when Steve turned to God.
There is nothing quite as terrifying as handing your 1-year-old over to a scrub nurse who's going to take her into the operating room. She was my 3rd child, but I'd never had to pray like I prayed for her with the other 2 because they'd never faced anything like that before. About an hour later, she came out, she was fine. But, you know, and my wife and I, you know, it was the hardest thing we'd ever gone through. But sometimes you got to put your faith in the man. Okay, I'm going to be out here. Please be in there with her.
Did that moment affect you as the way you approached parenting?
That particular moment was different than any other moment I'd had as a parent, you know. When you're a parent and you are praying for your child, that is as close to your soul as you can get, because you really mean it, because it's about your kids.
Steve and his wife Kathy will soon be empty nesters, but they both realize that their children will always carry with them the memories and laughter of home.
Every child has a thumbprint, if you will, of their father on their lives. What impression do you want your children to have from you?
I'm hoping my kids take life seriously, but don't take themselves too seriously. My dad's advice to me always was, you need to work hard, and at the end of the day, you've got to feel like you did a good job. But it's not just with my job, it's also with my family. If you've done that, you don't have any trouble falling asleep. And believe me, I fall asleep early.